What is up, YouTube? This is Station here, and this is going to be episode 12, and it's pretty much the end of core 1. I mean, there's going to be 2 consecutive cores, but yeah. The episode 12 of tbhx. So this is gonna finish up Queen's little arc. Remember that, like, when a specific character arc ends, it doesn't mean their story is over. It is meaning that they basically they're still like part of the whole. They're still part of the whole scheme, the whole bigger picture. So it's not like it's much of a downer. So when Sion's arc ended and people were not particularly fond of how it felt off in terms of the pacing, I wasn't too worried because I knew, like, yeah, when the arc ends, it doesn't mean that story is necessarily over. It's still being viewed at from different perspectives, and that's what I'm really liking in terms of how this series is trying to tell all of its stories. It's kind of weird that, you know, people somehow haven't take issue with it, but I feel like we've gone to the point where we've been too used to these linear sort of narratives, and I'm not saying a sort of unique take like this is necessarily automatically a good thing. It depends on how the execution goes down. I've always stated this. Like, sometimes it could be the most generic thing ever, but if it lands well and it lands in a way that makes it feel like there's memorability, like worthwhileness to it, then it's good. Then everything's fine. Then it did what it needed to do. And like, if it has something like it where it feels too hollow, it feels like a lot of ungainly things, and tries to do more with more style over substance in a way where even the style is just like not particularly remarkable in its own right, then in comparison to other instances, then we have a problem there. But going back to things before I drift off topic again, it's going to conclude Queen's arc, and I'm pretty sure this is where the events during the final episode of the little Sion arc was also going on. So Queen and Sion were going through their respective crises. So which is one hell of a shitty way to go, especially for the company in which they're working with. So when Mickey, the old guy that was the CEO, is just saying like this is a chance to turn the tables, he didn't mean specifically just for Sion. He meant for Queen. Now that I'm thinking back to things, because Queen took one hell of a loss, and like, she took it hard. She took it really hard. Like, this is the first time just tasting a bitter sense of the defeat, and it really sucks. And of course, the most important thing is not how much you win, it's how much you get back up and try again. And I feel like the more strife you encounter, the more worthwhile your efforts would be, I think. And like, I feel like that's something she kind of has to learn, and she also has to learn from a different perspective. And I wanted to talk about it more. I wanted to post it on somewhere, but I was not sure if it was gonna come out right. I feel like she's gonna really learn something from Sion, because remember, she didn't have the best first impression of her when they first meet, and yeah, understandably so. But she said, I mean, but in episode 10, she said, my your song took me out of my depression. We're probably gonna get that replayed scene, maybe with some more extra context. As for X, I don't know why I went without talking about how X showed up last week. just snapping, and then like he just like doesn't elaborate on anything, just leaves. And like and of course it's meant to be kept a secret, like, and people were saying I see my boy like Lupa-san was, when your boy Roshi group was saying like, why could they show the tape? I actually saw his character PV, and he did something to end that in the end of the PV, he did something to one of the security cameras. So that's off. James' video evidence is off the tables. from what I'm concerned. So yeah, I mean, considering how he is, like, if like they say he's not even in the information database. It's almost like he doesn't exist. Do you really think just pulling up video evidence is really pulling up video evidence is gonna really work? It'll just be like it'll just be like it'll just be the start and end, not the middle. It's kind of like Crimson. It's kind of like fucking Crimson Red, where it's just the start to end. We don't got the Gold Requiem to see the cause. So yeah. So be it. He remains mystical. I mean, we can already infer what kind of powers he might have had, like even just through the lyrics of New Type of Hero, which is pretty much his theme song, and you can kind of infer even just some lyrics how his what his powers may be, but they're still mysterious. We don't know exactly, and we're still not sure how this guy gets his trust value up. Some people are theorizing it's from the audience themselves. Some people like he retains something called self-trust, which sounds simple, but not real. But I think in a way, tbhx is gonna do it. Express it in a way where it's not as simple as people make it out to be. Or maybe he is in a case of where he combines fear and trust, which would be crazy, by the way. But then again, like the way he is mirrored with Zero in the opening. Does imply a lot of things. I mean, still mostly unconfirmed, but hopefully we'll get some answers along the way. So Boa is now driven nuts by by being infected with fear, and I liked how icky it looked. And something about where she finds out like that's your daughter. I'm thinking that's because Zen is not his queen's actual father, allegedly. He's actually like Mickey's daughter, or there may be a screw up, and like maybe he's not maybe like he's like just a grandfather and the father is someone else. I don't know. We'll find out here. Anything else to say? So yeah, I like how everything, again, I've said it before. I said it last week during the episode 11 reaction. I'm liking how things are coming together. The first two arcs, I know people praise the hell out of those two arcs, but it's because they're a lot more self-contained, and people were saying, but they're still diving. And before people try to jump onto this and try to criticize Xian's arc is and Queen's arc are at that point in the story right now where we're actually getting more deeper into things. Ling Ling's arc / Knight's arcs, but I mean, Nice just dies at the beginning, at the very start of the series, at least in terms of the episode wise. And Young Chins are like, They only scratching the they're only really scratching the surface when you really think about it. And come how this arc's gonna end. I'm pretty sure you guys will know what I mean. I'm pretty sure Sion's arc already expressed that. That's why I'm a little perplexed when people say it's a weak arc. I don't think it's particularly. I don't think in terms of like we should compare it in terms of like Sion's arc should have been self-contained, because it's not a really the comparison is not as black and white as I feel like it should be. Because remember, with Ling and Yang Chen, like other heroes are just in the background almost completely. And of course, Xian does make a significant appearance during the last episode of Yang Chen's arc, but that she's still most not that really involved. Whereas with during Xian's arc, Queen is actually there's already a good amount of significance to it, to where she was able to kickstart the plan for Xian to address her own crisis. I'm pretty sure she's preparing to address her own with Boa. Considering where we might be in terms of the chronological setting of events. It sucks that they don't have days, months, and weeks, just years. So it's hard to really pinpoint when exactly this took place before this or that. But you can still use some visual context clues at least. So I don't think it's too big a deal for now. So let me check something real fast. Yeah. Oh yeah, I pretty much see. I was checking Discord. I got a bit of a not too important sort of update. So let me just take this out. All right. So yeah, let's get to this episode now. Sorry if that was a little longer than I had planned, but sure, let's get to it. And of course, I'm always gonna watch in Chinese first. It's literally the original language. I don't understand why Crunchyroll labels this labels Japanese as the original language. Crunchyroll fucks up on everything, though. I should not be even surprised at this point. They screw up just not just closing down the comments. They screw up just with a lot of the subs. The subtitles are egregious in Crunchyroll. Let me tell you that. As long as you can follow enough of the spoken language to know what you're saying. I don't think you'll do too bad or particularly really bad ones, and people will start talking about those. Like there was one time where I was rewatching the episode 9, and then just like I'm just like the Crunchyroll subtitles had Jinx, and I'm just like, no, Laurel said like I am the unluckiest one. That's not what was represented by what the subtitles offered by Crunchyroll. It should have been like really obvious. If you've watched enough, if you've watched enough of these shows to know where things are going, and I hope they get their shit together. But at this point, I don't have any high hopes for that. So, enough of the waffling. Let's get to it. All right. starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's jam. Oh yeah, she taking it really hard right now. Well, let me check the episode. Oh, it's just normal. And their version of Twitter is just blowing up. Lots of lots of likes, lots of Oh, and there's a Sion concert. Like I said, they're both of these girls are going through their respective crisis. It's so they're just pinning it as if Sion is the one that gave her bad luck. Oh, and they also did that too. Oh, she's just throwing the dumbbell at the fucking screen. Oh, never mind. I take back what I said. It's just she never knew. Of course, that was the father. I was thinking about like, oh, the twist is gonna be, oh, that's not her actual father. But she probably, I forgot that boy probably doesn't know about doesn't know about Zen. So yeah, that's my bad. That's my bad. How do you say? How do you fuck Zen? You say Zay Lu. I mean, it's supposed to be Luze, but whatever. But yeah, I'm actually really Boa's gonna be driven, it's just gonna be driven mad. Like she's not gonna make any much sense. Remember, like when Dean was just continually blaming Sion for it. I'm like that's what fear does. That's what's also what's happened to Lo. And Lo's, I think, ability may or may not be more tied to it. I mean, I'm kind of sad they didn't really explain enough about Lo's own ability, and if it's really tied more to fear or not. Oh wow, yeah, the bolt. That's what I noticed. Like I didn't take note of that scar before. But she's thinking now, oh, Queen just got favored by those two. Fall of the star. This is really the darkest hour. Wait. So the dad told, so her dad told her about it. Oh. Oh, it's my color. Hold on. Sorry, there's something on the screen. You're 38. Queen's comeback. Oh, he's infected, yeah. Well, you remind me of somebody. I don't remember who he was. Oh. Oh, if I could jump, I can avoid it. Oh. Oh, oh wow. Suspected out. Needs to find out more. I need to look it back. I missed that part. The night before the 19th. The night before the 19th Hero Tournament. I like when like she's just listening, but when Xian spoke up, when Xian spoke up, she was like very she was smiling there. Oh, there she is. Kind of surprised it took her that long to show up. Oh. Oh man. Oh wow. Oh. Oh my gosh, she's just been pinballed through. Oh, she couldn't do that she couldn't do that normally. Wow. Yeah, it's a set boundary. As long anything with outside the radius is unaffected. Oh God. Do we have it? They're gonna destroy everything. Like put there's gonna be a lot of insurance to cover with that. Hmm. Oh no, that disc again. Oh. Oh my god. It's fear. I'm just not. I don't have anything to say. Ooh, okay. But like, even when you cannot just let your guard down, she's gonna keep counterattacking. This is Queen's probably biggest test. Forget X. She needs to address this girl right now here. Oh yeah, that ship's done. Forget the insurance now. Forget it. Forget it. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Oh my. Oh shit. Come on, is this Berserker versus Lancer? Come on, man. Oh my god, what is this? It's like the Jujutsu Kai that Jujutsu Kaisen episode with Sukuna vs Maharaga. It's not as freestyle, but god damn. Wow. Oh, it's the same place where she got shot back then in that flashback. It's like you done too much. You're not getting. Look at all that. You're not getting it back. Oh yeah, she got really banged up. Oh, she was trying to get back at X. Oh, Xian. Damn, shit's moving really fast. Oh, Xian's coming along too? Where are they going? Which one do you like more? Oh. No, just had a really strict upbringing. Be a normal girl. Oh. Wait, what's going on? Wait, what the hell? Oh shit! That's Big Johnny! Wow, that's just an abrupt way to end it. Wow. Okay, hold on. Is there anything more? Nope. I thought, okay. I thought, hold up. I thought Johnny was not gonna come yet. But it does seem to tie everything in. Oh, man. Okay, well, wow. Again, I mean, that went by fast. But at the same time, I feel like it hit the beats where it needed to be. I'm not against the what's this structure. I do think I do like I do think a lot of things could have been a little bit more fleshed out, but with the time with the kind of restrictions I had, I mean, they had so the fight was the fight with Boa was actually insane. It's not the clean, like, you know, there's some parts where, you know, it's kind of a little easy to hit, but then again it's kind of like the situation with a Yang Chen versus Oli, so it's that sort of feeling. I didn't really have much else to say, but I'm just like, I like how as more the battle progressed, the more intense it got, to where you can really just see the animation start to pop out, and they did a really good job. I was like, even with the smaller fight, the smaller little action where Queen was chasing whoever the hell this guy is. Hold on, whoever the hell this little guy. What does he remind me of? Oh my god, I can't put my finger on it. What's he? I know he's responding somewhere, but you know, let me see. So he has what seems to be, well, it seems like, it looks like there's some sort of infected, and he's using some sort of he's on some sort of machine with that walking machine or some sorts, and like that's how it's gonna turn the spider crawl thing. And it's kind of like it's not a wheelchair, but it's kind of like a tripod sort of vehicle of some sorts. But and bro has a what is he? I can't. I don't know. Something comes to mind, but I can't put my finger on who it was that he reminds me of. Let me see if I wonder. I mean, hold on. Let me see. Let me see if this. You know what? I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah. So where do I start here? This arc was intense. It does suck that the pacing doesn't. Two episodes you really can't do a whole lot with. Let me see. I do think I want. So is the next episode supposed to be following up to other stuff. Yeah, she misses things. I mean, but again, because of the way they're telling the story, I'm not against it. I'm like, I'm not so sure. But I'm pretty sure it's Lolly. But I think we're gonna get. Of course, they're gonna do that thing where we'll get to it. We'll get to it sometime later. I mean, I'm already sure how everything is just gonna gradually come together. But at least now more people will now know who haven't seen the trailers, the trailers will now know why Big Johnny is called Big Johnny. Because I mean, if you missed the part where Lil Johnny said, "Oh, you don't want to," where he warns about what happens when he gets angry. He turns from a unicat to whatever the hell that is. I don't know. Walter Vacation seems one and done though. What's this remind? Fucking freaking QB looking. I can't believe I keep thinking of QB every time I see a big ass wolf monster. I can't. God damn it, Naruto. God damn it. But yeah, but she goes into her depression, and okay, I made the mistake of thinking their respective crises were going on at the same time. No, Xian actually addressed her first, and then it's later on that Queen gets a comeback. Now, what does bug me is that I'm still wondering, why didn't Boa go after her right away upon that realization? That's something I've been really considering. I do not know if she was just waiting for the right time to try to strike down Queen when she was trying to make a comeback, or if she's that would make more sense. Or if she didn't really or like the real severity of the fear symptoms did not really set in until later. So it does. Okay, so it does seem like Queen's been on a bit of a patrol. Okay, I need to check back on the part where. Okay, so there was this bit of translation here that I missed. Okay, Hero X Rock a relationship poor. Oh, so they're trying to figure out whom he's connected to. Rebellious hero, nice relationship, suspected ally. They're basically trying to find out what's up with this guy. So well, I see there's Wreck there. There's a 9, which might have been which probably is a previous X. Who's this mystical person right there though? Sorry, like a lot of things are going so fast. Like it's hard to try to keep in touch. But this is a mysterious. Like who is this? Who is this person here? He looks like very obvious. Of course, like there's just question marks. You can't really you can't really pinpoint who he is. And so far, no real success. But she's been trying to prep to try to have a proper rematch against her. And it's just kind of unfortunate that she got badly injured because of Boa's attacks, to where she missed out on the chance to try to take on X again. This was all she was trying to get to train up to get back into shape. And again, while she does win out against Boa, she loses out on the opportunity. So it still felt like a loss. So it still felt like more so a loss on her end, because she's never able to get back. And there's all the more reason that she would participate in the next in the latest tournament that was set to take place after Ling Ling's arc. All right, so yeah, she was basically scouring shit for. She's basically doing these little missions to scour out people who are infected by fear, and she just happened to run into Boa. Again, I'm still wondering why Boa was like very, per se, quiet, staying low up until now. Which maybe there's some dialogue that I missed. So you gave you feel like you rejected her. So I'm guessing like she was just probably just waiting for the right time to try to strike, to lash out at Queen, and she nearly could. Queen was pulling as much as she can. You to see the way like her words, she was able to conjure up a lot of things, and I don't know where to even start to try to break all of those down. Okay, but Boa is a beast though. She trained all like there's no snubbing her, but when she went off the deep end, it was over for her. She's like one of those former pro players that just took a turn for the worse because of some unfortunate incident, and just went on a downward spiral. This happens a lot in real life too. People who had quite the prospect only just fall from grace in a very horrific way. And Queen could have been like her too. Thankfully, she has support, but Boa had no one else but herself. And in a way, and when I say Queen could have been like her, it's because when she was telling Xian that she's always been raised as I can only trust myself, but that's changed now. She can trust. She can at least open up to others. I mean, she can trust in the few friends she does have now. So I feel like it's just 1, 2, but that counts, right? That means something. Although But I mean, something like compared to Bo, who was just who she had nothing. Bo was you know, she had nothing else to lose. That's why she wanted to. That's why she stated she wanted to kill her and drag her down to get the back of the crown. But here's the thing: Queen pointed this out that she doesn't even have she can't even qualify for the tournament now, even though she is like hella strong. Which brings the point that which brings something to light with the fear value, that it also that fear can power you can also power you up in a way trust, maybe even more so than what regular trust can do. That's what I feel. That's why it's so dangerous. But of course, it comes with a. But of course, the cost is that the person that the one using this power of fear is being driven in will be driven insane. But this also goes back to where, like, what is Law's sort of power based around of to begin with? If he had whether or not he has supporters. I don't think I'm not so sure if I've seen some theories like where I feel like it's more like what more of his powers are. He's been more, maybe he's more attuned to fear value, or it's like he can kind of utilize fear to an extent to where he's not affected. But I mean, we did see that he was greatly affected back during Sion's arc, so that checks out. So that doesn't work. I don't think we really get a guess of what it is. I feel maybe it's more like it. His power is only a thing when fear is involved. I'm not so sure. I've never seen. I've yet to see a case of what effects what abilities he has when he does have positive value, aka the trust value. But yeah, I mean, fear value works in a way that I pretty more or less expected, because like, why is her attacks getting so strong? It's because and I'm also thinking, like, did she just feeling more of the effects, or is it also because the Queen was starting to fear her, because she has to recognize how much of a threat Bo is. That's pretty. If it's what I think with if it's the latter of what I said, then that's even more. That's quite dangerous. Alright, so there's so far. I mean, they're basically destroying all the cargo here, and like I hope they have I don't think insurance can really cover this anymore. Depending on what can be, depending on what qualifies as insurance there. I'm pretty sure like the commission just be like, oh, we'll cover all the damages up. or something like that. Who knows? Or like, because I think Boa is pretty much kicked out after that. Like, remember, she can't qualify. She cannot qualify of that. You lost your right to participate in the rankings match because of that. I mean, like, geez, this is just a little portion of the damage they did. You see Queen's attack, just graze through an island, I think. Hold on, I need to see. I'm pretty sure, like, where was it? But yeah, that attack just hold on, let me see right there. Right there. Like that is not. Oh no, it's not an island. It's more like a Gulf part of the coast. And yeah, she just eviscerated that part what some of the people I'm going some people gonna be caught up in that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like some people like I'm surprised like there had to be some casualties at the time unless like somehow everyone else was vacant. But then again, I don't expect. Maybe it's during the hours where a lot of people were just not active. But you know, what about outside? Some people gonna get caught. And what? Yeah, but yeah, that action like again, it gets more and more and more insane as the fight drags on, and of course, it finally leads to a part where Queen um, finally subdues Boa, but she sustained so much injury beforehand because Boa was just whamming at her, you know, and the fact that she was able to, I was thinking like, oh, she's going to have enough you know, she's going to have enough power to override her rules, but no, it's just more like she had another weapon. She had another weapon. This is not the stuff she usually utilizes. At least what we saw when she was fighting Smile. Um, and so Boa's going at it pretty cheap. I mean, yeah, Queen got. I mean, but Queen does have like does have a pretty busted ability herself. But even that is kind of limit. Even that has its limitations. So it's not like Queen is like oh is like close to omnipotent in her own right. I mean, it's still crazy, but like Bo would kind of resort to tricks like that instead of like where she would just straight up where she would just go head to head with a melee of and all that, and it just goes to show that how much Boa went off the deep end. Um, so that chapter is closed. Now Queen trying to get back. I mean, this sucks honestly. And while I do feel like the episode could have done better to sit on that scene a little bit more, I think it just did as much as it needed to. I don't think there's more to. I don't think there's that much more to tell after that. So we jump back, and it's been another year. So and she's been quietly just kind of just training, which is good. It's good. And then she gets called to go on a vacation. And of course, Sion tags along. I'm guessing the excuse for Sion to tag along, even though she doesn't really have she has no business to, is because like I'm gonna make sure Queen takes her vacation properly. That's the that's what I feel like Sion told them of like oh, I'm just gonna watch her. I mean I'm pretty sure it's more like she wants to be with her. She wants to be with her Nessa figure. And in a way, Queen is not Queen is not Queen is not Queen is not adverse to Sion's warmth. I mean, remember she did get she did get out of her depression with the song that she sang, and of course it was My Color. So I liked how that really tied things together there. Um, and yeah, like this was what Boa was thinking. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Sure, she had connections, but when you really think about it, like it's not like she didn't try hard. I mean, she was graduating college at a very young age, and was and really didn't trust anyone else. That's why she was so socially awkward. But I mean, it's understandable to think that oh, she just got favored by familiar relationships. I thought the twist that she's related to Mickey, but no, it's just it's the it still it stands. It's just more that the father. I should have figured out. Oh, it's just this simple. The father is because she has the father is part of this the commission. That's why the seat. That's why she thinks she's getting favoritism and biased, which does happen. It does happen in the not just in competitive sports, just like in any industry or business where you have personal connections make will give favoritism. Now, of course, it depends on the person. Mickey is not the kind of guy that will give favoritism out of personal relationships. I am 100% sure of that. Like the way that guy looks, he's not that kind. But I mean, but Bo, who probably doesn't know much, doesn't know that, doesn't know all too well about Mickey. She had the wrong idea, and here's the thing: when you get the wrong idea, you cut and that sort of wrong idea can turn into something really ugly, and and this is all Boa's fault that Queen got pretty banged up. I'm pretty sure Boa just got dismissed by the commission after that. Just I mean, she literally had no. At this point, I'm pretty sure she probably already was, and she was just going rogue. I mean, she can't even qualify to be a hero anymore, even if she wanted to, unless the one day she gets her act together. But that's probably for another story. Did I overlook anything? I mean, again, I do like that it is tying the discovery of fear together, and hence why she now undertakes these missions to. I mean, like, yes, Xian did deal with the source of everything. I mean, but the spread. I mean, yeah, you can deal with it, but it's like a virus. It's still spreading. It's still. It was able to open up like a pandemic, and it's now a very prominent thing, and that's also why it is that prevalent during Ling Ling's arc, I bet in a different form, but still more or less the same. And you also got to think now, who is the organization that was utilizing that? The one that turned Enlightener to God Eye. Considering how episode 10 ended and what Mickey was saying, I wonder if Mr. Shang was onto something in regards to that, because he did say is he like salty that his son got murdered, or is it something else? This show is very interesting with how they're drawing things up. I was expecting a little bit more. I was expecting a little bit more simple things, like it's just gonna be Boa and all. But I was not expecting Queen to just be going on missions to deal with fear, to deal with the infected. I'm gonna sound like I'm sorry if that sounds like I'm talking about Arknights, but no, it's the fear. It's those that are like inflicted with it, and it's getting dangerous. It's actually getting dangerous now. It does make me wonder, like, why did it not manifest before in situations? I'm pretty sure there are a lot of things in the past that could have triggered it, not just Xian's case. So why now? Now, of course, I guess the answer is already there. It's because of Xian. It's because of Xian's, given nature of manipulating luck, to where the notion of good and bad luck bad when you think you have bad luck, things can you'll feel like it's just a feeling of everything is going wrong. That's where I feel like the fear can go to the extremes, and that's how it really, can really bloom out of control. All right. Um, so yeah, I that's all my that's all I need to waffle about in terms of fear for now, I guess. Um, Again, it's really nice to at least see that she's her and Sion's pretty has gotten pretty close. Queens have been more accepting of getting support from others. I mean, she kind of needs to. I mean, she's not perfect. She's um she had I mean, she's not used to she's still like that. This is also where like she's not quite used to failing. I mean, so like yeah, she succeeds in stopping Boa, but she fails to even reach the to even get to rematch with X. Let me see what was properly said. Was absent from last week's ranking due to injury. So basically, X just takes the crown by fault because no one was there to meet him on the other side of the stage. So I wonder what he's probably thinking though. Like I would have liked to see that. Maybe we will. Maybe we will at the end of the season. Um. All right. That's all I really gotta say though. I just a bunch of things that to really consider now. Again, though, of course pacing could have been better, but I think it did what it needed to do. It told us as much as it needed to tell. Again, I do think maybe a little bit more extension of the episode and not just like the normal one would help. I wonder who. From what I've heard, Holland was solo writing the script for Sion, and he did mention about praising issues. I wonder who's doing Queens. I might need to take a more of a look on that, but and I think in a way because Queen's involvement is more. I'm not gonna say it's simple, but it's straightforward enough to where I feel like maybe a third episode may not necessarily be may not be the utmost necessity for her arc. I mean, I think at this point it told us as much. It told us all the basic things we need to know about her and what she went through and who she and how she is and why she is, and I think that works. But now we're just gonna jump into the next the heroes. I do feel like they're gonna be a better segue, because the next one, because from what I saw in the schedule, the next arc is gonna be Lolly. I think that is the case. I could be just horrifically wrong, but we'll see. Let me double check. Yeah, it's Lolly. That's gonna be the next one, and that's only 2 episodes. Well, as long with Ghostblade. Johnny's is not gonna come until July 27th. So we're not gonna get the answer to that last scene until maybe Ghostblade, until maybe Ghostblades or his arc start or Johnny's own arc starts. So yeah, it's interesting to see what where they're gonna how they're gonna take where they're gonna take it from there. I think it'll go all right. Um, oh, someone posted the Oh, you posted the concept arc. Ah, okay, that's what it looked like. I mean, kind of interesting that this concept arc was more of night, was more of the daytime, whereas we see it in it, we see that shit at night. Like, yeah, there's gonna be unfortunately, like, what's gonna be disappointing is that people's gonna have to find out this is not the next hero they're gonna cover for the next episode. They're gonna cover they're gonna cover another one who's maybe is pretty questionable, but I'm not gonna go into it because people are gonna be acting like bitches about it. I'm not gonna go into it. Y'all gotta fess up and stop whining about everything like that. All right, but that's enough of my rambling for today. Smash the like button, never know think in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter, support the YouTube channel, join the Discord server, share the video around, all that good stuff. But yeah, that'll do it for Queen's arc. Well, on to part 2 now. Researching signing off. See you next time. Take care. Stay safe, y'all. Have a great day. Peace out.